Good evening, I'm Colm Colgan and you are watching Business and Enterprise, Ireland's only and first live internet business TV programme. As always, we talk about a particular business in the area, and tonight is no exception. Our guest tonight is Brian Birdy, who's the National Sales Manager of Apex Fire. Brian, you're very welcome to the programme.
Good evening, Colm. How are you?
I'm fantastic. First of all, Apex Fire. I know it's based in Cavan, but it has a bit of a history. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, Apex Fire has been in business for 40 years. We're actually celebrating our anniversary now in June. It was started up in the late 70s in Dublin, and then we bought it over in 2008, Mine Roberts Mine Engineering in Cavan, and we've taken it over and moved it on since to make it a better and bigger company.
Was Mine Roberts, were they in a similar business, or were they...
Mine Roberts were in a similar business. We manufacture fire hose reels and fire extinguishers, and we export them all over the world. And we were looking for a good company here in Ireland that had a good base to take over and establish our business and sell our products nationwide.
So Apex Fire originally, for want of a better word, sold somebody else's products. You bought the company, and now effectively you sell your own product that you manufacture.
Correct.
And whereabouts is the base here in Cavan?
The base is out in Mine Hall, just out the Ballinyal Road, and the factory's based there, and that's where we assemble and make the hose reels and kite mark and certify them.
And many of the staff?
There would be 58 on the ground. And
58? Wow, that's...
And there'd be another 20 odd in the offices and the factory.
And you see export? What's
we export to the Middle East, we export to Europe, and we export England, all over.
How do you get into a market like the Middle East?
Well, the market got into the Middle East was our founder, Mr. Pat Cosgrove, got us in there. He travelled all over the world, worked hard, every country, everywhere in the world. And
is the founder still alive?
He's still alive. He's still got his hand on the business, and his two sons still have their fingers in the pie. They're running the UK, and Smeba Fire in Holland, Walker Fire in the UK. So that's basically where we stand at the minute. Then Apex Fire, what we've done now is we brought it into that it's a nationwide company. We service everywhere. We have a planned facilities maintenance package out there for everyone. And the planned facilities maintenance package offers 15 different services under one account. We can go in and do a bespoke package to each customer's need. For example, if you own a hotel, we can service your ansol systems, we can service your fire alarm, we can service your fire extinguishers, your emergency lighting. You have one phone call answers all these questions, that you're not bringing in several different engineers, electricians, etc., different people. Our personnel are on the ground. We're living locally in every county.
So you actually have staff based all over the country. It's not that if you get a call from a hotel in Kerry that somebody gets into the van and goes, and you have people based locally. So if there's an emergency,
correct,
you're not waiting for somebody to travel down.
We have offices in Cork, Dublin, and we've recently opened a base over in County Galway.
There's a recession, needless to say. This is a startling fact you probably wasn't aware of. There's a recession on out there. People are cutting back on a lot of things. And do people look upon their fire hazards or their fire safety, do they look upon that as something that they can come back on?
Some people put it to the back of their minds. Obviously they're out there to make a profit, hang on to their business. But fire extinguishers and fire safety in every business is an important factor. You need a fire alarm in a business. You need to have it serviced, because in the event of a fire, you have to raise the alarm to evacuate the people out of the building. It's a life safety situation. Under Health and Welfare Safety Act 2005, it's part of legislation that you have some means of first aid firefighting equipment and a means to raise an alarm to help people out of a building. Like, if these things aren't serviced and left on the long finger, your fire alarm mightn't work, your detection mightn't work. You lift the fire extinguisher off the wall that's been hanging there for 4 years, the pressure might have leaked out and it might not work. And it's important. Now, for recession prices, that's why we've got one engineer and one van that can offer 15 different services, bespoke to each customer's needs. A lot of customers, like your local pub, Your local restaurant might need 15 services. But we
But
Apex
your
Fire
people are
will do that.
trained in all 15.
15. And if you need to contact us, check out our website. You can contact us by info@apexfire.ie or go onto our website. Our phone numbers are there and we're ready to take your calls. We're open from 8 in the morning till 5 in the evening, 5 days a week. And after that, we offer a 24-hour service on our page buy system. And we can also, our guys can, at the weekend on Saturday evening, your fire alarm's gone off in your hotel or your factory or something that you need to check. Might be fit to solve it over the phone. Our engineer will then come out and help you.
Do people who have your equipment, do they have to be trained? In other words, do you just put fire extinguishers into a factory and say, right, I'll be back next year to check out, or has somebody be trained in them?
No, a person must be trained, because there's no point in you having a fire extinguisher in the wall. They should be trained, and we provide a package training for them, fire wardens course, obviously if there's a large amount of people working in it. But for the ordinary Joe Soap that has his petrol station or his shop or his pub, that we actually show them how to use the fire extinguisher when it goes in. We show them the different types of extinguishers to have, and also we provide training packages for them.
Now, fire alarm systems, they're obviously super computerized now. It's not like the old days where some sensor sensed fire and just sent off an alarm. I assume it's all computerized now. Is it connected on a similar type of system like, we say, Aircom Phone Watch, where if there is a fire situation, can it be remotely activated to the owner, to the fire brigade?
That's a great point, Colm. We supply and fit fire alarms nationwide. We're recommending that all fire alarms should be 24-hour monitored, either by a static guard that's on site in a factory or whatever, or we can, if you're a pub or a factory or it's a remote location, that we can hook it up. We can actually hook it up to the monitoring station and monitor it. And we offer this 24-hour monitoring service with a fire alarm, because if you walk away, put in the fire alarm goes off. Nowadays people ignore it like your burglar alarm in the countryside. So what we recommend is to have it monitored. We can link back, then it can ring you, you can set up a protocol in it and ring the fire station then if need be, if you can't be contacted.
And part of the monitoring, okay, as you said, if it's a small little pub or a small shop, you know, but if it's some in either a hotel or a big industrial complex, will it be able to pinpoint where the
well, if it's a fully addressable system on the fire alarm, what I mean that the fire alarm will pick up that it's room number 5, corridor 3, and it'll show exactly where the fire is or where the detector is or where it's gone off or it's a fault or a fire.
And sprinkler systems, are they part?
Sprinkler systems, we offer a package on the sprinkler system through our mechanical company, and sprinkler systems usually go into large factories, warehousing facilities, etc. And sprinkler systems are basically a water system goes off and floods the building, puts out a fire.
Yeah, again, I remember, I'm going back a bit now, since I left school several decades ago, there was some sensor and something that burnt in the sprinkler system. This is the older fashioned ones, and away it went. Can sprinkler systems be accessed remotely now? So again, going back to your
on technology, I'm sure there is something out there now. I haven't come across using that before, but I'm sure it can be looked into and checked out. You can obviously activate remote water cannons remotely, and that I know that from different facilities, whereas packaging on the waste disposal industry and the recycling industry, where you'd need water cannons and they remotely operate. But just so besides water sprinkler systems, you have also FM 200 suppression systems for comms rooms, CO2 gas systems as well. You have kitchen suppression systems over your cooker hood, and like these systems should be serviced and monitored on a regular basis. Like your sprinkler system's done every 6 months. Your cooker hood suppression system, where your chip pan goes on fire, will automatically put it out, and they should be serviced every 6 months to keep them under warranty and keep it to the standards.
When somebody comes out to service, and do they do a test of the system?
Are we talking
Well,
about fire alarm?
we say fire alarm. Okay, obviously that's fine. But something like the sprinkler systems, like the fire extinguishers, they're all checked that they work.
There's an annual test on fire extinguisher. It comes under a standard called IS 291 2002. That's when the standard was last updated, and that states you service your extinguishers annually, and you do a test discharge on a percentage of the extinguishers. The fire alarm, depending on the size of the building, we'd say a small shop or a pub would have less than 20 devices. So that's only tested on 50% of devices every 6 months. We check them. We've a long pole and we spray gas up into it, and it tests the smoke head and checks it goes off. We test and check the batteries, and we also can check your emergency lighting when we're there as well, because our engineers are dual engineers. Well, I shouldn't say technicians.
That's a new name.
Technicians. That's the word on the ground, and we've made them to reduce our carbon footprint. And there's one man coming in to do all the work. Well, one person. There's ladies also working in the industry too. Coming in to do, so you can do your fire alarm, your fire extinguishers, your emergency lighting, all done under one plan.
So your guys are super trained.
Well, hopefully. We're all trying to do our best. We've trying to make our products supersede the European level. We've put pressure safety release devices on all our fire extinguishers, which supersedes the European standard. Our managing director sits on the board of the standards in Europe, and he tries to promote and push this. So we're always with the standards and try and keep ourselves ahead of the standards and make sure everything is done correct. 100%.
Now, going back to fire extinguishers, there's different fire extinguishers for different fires. Are they obvious which ones are which? Again, thankfully, I've never been in a fire situation, but I'm just imagining some of the places I've been in, and if there was a fire, everyone would run around like headless chickens. Possibly somebody might grab a fire extinguisher. Whether they'd go for the right one or not, I don't know. Yeah,
what we do is when we install, we say a site, new extinguishers in. I don't know how many extinguishers you keep here in the studio or that. We say for your electrics, your equipment in there, in your comms room and your computers, etc. We recommend a CO2 extinguisher. So we locate that in an area that can be located easily. We won't put a water there, we won't put a foam there because it contains water. What we'll do is, and say a CO2 is designed for electrical, computers and equipment. Powder is designed for putting out all classifications of fire. All these extinguishers are colour coded. Your water is red with white, your powder has got a symbol on it, blue colour code, and your CO2 has got a black symbol on it. And we have identification signs over each extinguisher saying what type of fire they can put out and what they can do.
And you say you train the people how to use them all.
Yeah.
Do we have a little training session where everybody is just talking and chatting, and this is how you use this or this is how you use that, or do you somehow manage to simulate a fire? Because obviously
we do simulations. We have simulation fires using CO2 extinguishers, and it's a hands-on demo. We organise a question test and we certify the people in the use of fire extinguishers and they use them properly. And we do fire warden training as well with that.
And fire warden, that's it.
That's
health and safety officer for fires.
Yeah, you'd appoint so many. Say you had a large company or a large factory that a couple of hundred working, so there'd be so many fire wardens appointed that do the fire drill, evacuate the people out of the building, etc., etc.
Once the fire extinguisher is used, is that it finished?
Once you take a fire extinguisher off the wall, you need to get it serviced and checked. You just don't take an extinguisher.
No, I mean, but say there's a fire, you use that fire extinguisher. Can that be refilled, or does that go on skip?
Well, we offer a great new thing, a service exchange policy, which makes us unique in the industry, that we take away the old extinguisher, we recycle it, give you a piece of paper on the green cert saying it's recycled. We put you in a brand new extinguisher at a little few pound or euro above the cost, and give you a 5-year warranty on spares and parts. So then we guarantee that extinguisher on the wall is working. Whereas nowadays, if you take an extinguisher and refill it, because you've opened it, you could have worn the threads down slightly, resealed it, it could leak. So we prefer to hand you a brand new extinguisher. This thing of refilling extinguishers on site is wrong. Taking away for refilling, leaving you without extinguishers is wrong. An extinguisher is a highly pressurised vessel. For example, a powder water foam extinguisher at £135 of pressure per square inch, and meaning that is a lorry tyre is only at 125. If that blew off, it could kill you.
You'd be in trouble. Okay, after we come back from this break, we'll talk a little bit more about Apex Fire with the National Sales Manager, Brian Birdy.